A very energetic and impressive good evening to all of you. It would be great if all of us could switch on our cameras because it's a video conference meeting we are doing, unlike Clubhouse, which was introduced in my life by Brijesh, and it is an audio conference setup, a platform on audio conference. I would like to welcome the three panelists for today's session on behalf of the team TWF, the way forward, for who are contesting the IIA elections 2023. I can see here on the panel architect Brijesh Shaijal. Hello, Brijesh. Yeah. So Brijesh has joined from Calicut. I would just rename Brijesh. Give me a second. So he is Brijesh Shaijal. Right. I can also see on the panel on my right hand side on the screen architect Kapil Mehta ji. Kapil Mehta ji joins us from Noida. Yeah. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening. And I can also see Mahesh Hiremath ji, who has joined us all the way from Hubli, I think. He is on an election campaign. He is on an election campaign in Hubli. Good evening, sir.
Hello, everyone. Yes, hello.
So we will be going to the next 30 minutes of time interacting with our three panelists. I have a few generic questions which we have collected over the last 2 days of time from amongst various state level WhatsApp groups we have stitched together for the team TWF. However, I would also like to take a few live questions from you all. Anybody who's willing to ask a question, seek an answer, has some doubt in his or her mind, may kindly raise his or her hand. We are all very much accustomed with Zoom. Firstly, I would like to go to Mahesh Hiremath ji, who is from Karnataka. Mahesh sir, you have interests in outreach for architects into the government departments. So
yeah.
How do you, an architect from Karnataka itself, Bellary to be specific, Bellary to be specific, asked us a question sometime yesterday that procurement in the government is not streamlined when it comes to architectural services. How do you intend to address it?
Hello.
Yes,
good evening,
sir.
Everyone. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear?
Yes, sir.
See, good evening, everyone. See, this time the way forward, if elect, we are going to first approach to the all government organization and sectors, and will recommend our professional body to the government sector, and will recommend the Minister of Urban Development Authority as well as concerned ministers wherever in the states also. And we are going to approach from chapter wise also. Once approach and we have a dialogue with concerned minister, and we have to convey our message to the minister to necessity of architect in the society, from the municipal authority to till corporation boards, housing boards, wherever it is the construction activities going on. So we'll approach, we will convey the message. What is the Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Hello.
You are audible.
Can you hear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you hear?
Yes, sir.
So what is the role of architect in the society? This is the one part. Second part, the wherever the vendors regarding regarding architectural work. So that also we are going to convey the message to the government organization. Don't go for a EMD for a architects. Architects are not a contractors. Our main motto is to remove this EMD system. Let them take as a eligibility criteria belongs. Let them choose the eligibility criteria. And the one more thing, our this time whenever we are going to put the tender, Council of Architecture is the mandatory. Like that, this time we are requesting and pressurizing the government. Let them IIA member has to be there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your comments. Friends from the public who have joined us, let me remind you once again that architect Mahesh Hiremath ji is standing for one of the positions out of 10 total council members in the elections this time. I will come back to you, Mahesh sir, but let me now go to Calicut. Let me now go to Calicut, down south. Sir Brijesh ji, namaskar. Welcome to today's forum. Yeah. So we had a question from another architect member from Andhra, and he wanted to know what all member-centric activities apart from the blitz of YAF, awards, NatCon, apart from all of this, what else will we bring to the table? Member-centric activities.
Hi, good evening all. Nice to see you all in the evening. And I'm sure all are back from the office with tired. Yeah, so thanks, Saurabh, for the wonderful question you asked. So I would like to say, unlike just focusing on the events, I'm not saying we didn't do good events and all, but apart from the events, what is the takeaway from all these events or whatever activities we do or we did all these years? Are we happy with the kind of things happening with architects? Especially, I will focus more on the young architects in this country, where especially after the post-pandemic days, they all face lots of issues and they are clueless where to go, how to start up. And even last interview which Lalitan was did along with SSR from Chennai, he had raised lots of points. What will be the way forward for the young bunch? So maybe our primary focus will be with the people who are who face lots of issues and who doesn't have a direction. Even to those if you look at our fraternity, who pass out is maximum number is women architects, and there but on the where we look at the entire professional panel, we don't see much people here in the activities, either professional or academic side. So how to bring all of them to the platform of IIA and make it powerful? And here, first of all, we would like to hear from people. So it's not just, we tell you something and you just hear. So it need to be mutual. And with respect to all the concerns raised, we all need to do research on it. And from there, we need to take up solutions for that. So blindly giving a solution won't work. So maybe the first half will be more on the problem, knowing the problem, then bringing up solutions which will consist. The solution need to consist and resolve every issues. And we cannot take any international model to our country because our country, from every perspective, it's different. So we need to work for our own model to run the show. And even what I feel, we architects are not trained for as a business people. We are trained to create. So our brains are tuned to more to create. So, but the way we practice, everyone follow the other senior guys, and then the seniors also did lots of trial and error process, and they reach somewhere. And suddenly, one guy can't just take up all that and start his practice. So, what do we feel? We need to do a thorough research. Maybe if you parallel to other creative field like movies and other artists, they are focused on their creative part. But we maybe after a point we focus more on the business and we lose the creative thing. So there should be a balance between these areas. So definitely we will take up all these things and together we'll come out with a good solutions. And of course, there are so much we had a discussion with all the youngsters last term, but the visionaries were somewhere like, we need to be more sharp visionaries. This time, I'm sure with the leadership of Architect Lalitan ji, we can do much much better in this term. We'll take up more specific on this after, Kapil Mehta's talk also.
Certainly, certainly. I will come back to you in the second half after 5 minutes or 10 minutes of time. And I would like to know specifically from you that we have only approximately 55% of our membership base as active voters. So what will we do for the rest 45% of the people that they become mainstream? I'll come back to you in 10 minutes. So now I move on from down south to the heart of India, Noida, or shall I say Delhi. Two sides of a line, but the Delhi NCR region. We have architect Kapil Mehta with us. Mehta ji, namaskar. कैसे हैं आप?
यार एकदम बढ़िया है सर. Thank you very much for inviting me here.
मेहता जी, हम आपसे शुरू करना चाहेंगे ये पूछते हुए कि JIIA, the Journal of the Indian Institute of Architects, it has been doing fantastic. We have seen 26 colorful, vivid issues capturing anything and everything, God knows what and what not. लेकिन ये तो सेंट्रल लेवल पे हो रहा है. What about publications of our sister chapters, sister sub centers, sister centers? उस लेवल पे आप कैसे ग्रूमिंग करेंगे publications में?
See, every good thing comes from the top and it flows down. So this is the philosophy behind it. So when the things have come up so well in the last 2.5 years, and before that also, everybody knows that our journal is a refereed journal, and it was made refereed, or it was conferred as a refereed journal in 2012 sometimes. And for the last 11 or 12 years, this has been a journal where all the contents are refereed first. These are given to another competent allied professional for vetting, and then it gets printed. So in coming times, we need to have it listed with our consortium of academic and research ethics. So first of all, I'll just speak about what the central journal has done in the past and what the other chapters need to take from this journal and make their own publications at their local levels. So when we are listed with the CARE is a consortium of academic and research ethics. So this is a UGC program in which the journals are listed, and this journal will really help those people who are pursuing their PhD and who are pursuing their research work. They get credit out of whatever is published in the journal. And the quality of journal, we have all seen that in the past 10-12 years, the quality of journal has come up so well, and particularly in last few years through publication board headed by I think the members were Brijesh Shaijal, and editor was Mr. Lalichand Zakaria. So the content, the amount of content and the quality of content has really been improved. And we have seen, rather, if I talk about the chapter from where I come from, the UP chapter, recently this chapter has also released some 4 or 5 editions of their newsletter. They call it a newsletter, but the amount of content and everything is very good. And recently they have published some newsletter on women's architecture. So there are so many other chapters like Karnataka is doing so well that and I'm told that they were given best newsletter or best publication award also for their publication, which they had during the entire term of 2 years. And congratulations to Mr. B.R. Mohan that their contents and everything was so admired in the fraternity. And there are so many other chapters they are who are doing well. And I'm not only confined with the publication is only a publication of which is printed on paper. The publication comes on electronic media also, because this contents of these publications or contents of whatever is being published, this helps in bringing a better built form. Either the building which has already been built, and or the building or the building which is going to build, the publication, the contents of the publication have to go a little better in their endeavor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'll come back to you. I am sorry, since we have only 30 minutes of time. If you allow me, I'll like to go back to Mahesh, sir, if you allow me.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, I'll come back to you, but I'll come back to you in season 2. I'll come back to you in some 5-6 minutes of time. So, Mahesh, sir, we have an architect, Ravinder ji, and Mr. Ravindra is asking that you talked about representing the petitions or memorandums regarding importance of architect and architect services to various urban development departments at state level across the country. Now, these recommendations which you will be giving, what kind of fruits will they bear during your term of 2 years, which is about to come?
See, Ravindra ji, all these, whatever you ask, now we have approached to the government sector. We have already given, and we have met the urban principal secretary of Karnataka government. He has accepted all the things, and especially for even he has promised to take the all architects in the board also. And meanwhile, our petition has given to the regarding registration. One more thing important regarding architect registration to be free to all the municipality corporation. That also we have spoken with principal secretary. They are waiting for Council of Architecture registration number, serial number. They have not given till today. This was already approached number of times to President of Council of Architecture. So if they given immediately, our registration is also going to be free. There is no need to pay any architect to the any sector. And also we met urban ministers. So urban minister also is our paper has moved to the urban ministers. Only thing, it is going to be approved for approved in the cabinet. This has to be processed once anyway. This time also the way forward team in Karnataka has come. It's going to be continued. We are going to pressurize these things to the government, because this is not go since so many years nobody has done. We have struggled. We have fought with government people, including principal secretary and minister, and it is going on because we have to educate them.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mahesh sir. Thank you, Mahesh sir. I think it is a very long fight, and we will not be achieving many things in a day or two. Fight has gone on for generations. That architects and their role, their important pivotal role in design, making people aware about architect services, it's going on since long. Friends from the audience may raise their hand if they have a question which they would like to ask. I would seek them to introduce themselves, and then they may perhaps follow up with their question. I now go back to Brijesh ji. The very important question. 45% of our existing membership is off radar. How do we address it? Member-centric IIA.
Yeah, that's a very valid and important question when it concerns to IIA as a whole. So this is a question we ourselves need to ask. Why one person should join? So when someone joining, especially that's our youngsters, because that's the after coming out from the institute, why should they join? And maybe I get this question quite often. What will I get when I join IIA? So this is from, I feel it's need to be educated from the beginning of our architecture education, where we need to be more socially relevant citizen than more of a taker than a giver. So these platforms are more for giving than taking to the for the entire fraternity. So here, but when you get into this institute as a whole, so you are not alone. You are together. This togetherness can make a huge change, especially when it comes to a social side. What you say, it's unlike doctors and other professionals. The common man doesn't feel the importance of an architect. So we maybe failed to prove what is our values in the society. So first, we would like to address that, and we would like to prove what architects can make a change in the social fabric. So whereas we believe if we create good spaces, people will gather there. I'm not talking about individual residential projects. I'm talking about more on the public projects. So even the members, like our membership, if you look at the entire country, as architects, I'm not talking about IIA alone, as an architects, our representation in terms of the built environment is very less. Maybe less than 10% or 5% of the built space are designed by architects. Rest all are non-architects and all. So people doesn't understand the difference between, what is a design. So, but if you look the entire world, now design speaks. Even whatever we use, I know everywhere the design speaks. So let's educate our own community through architects and bring that value system inside our community, and then of course people will get attracted to the institute. When we start doing something for the in a larger frame, everyone will be connected. And specifically if you look at it on the all verticals, maybe it's regional wise, maybe in the city people will be having more access to lots of infrastructure and other job opportunities and all. And the rural side, people doesn't have much, opportunity. But even if you look at the pay scale and all for the youngsters, that's very less. And it's reciprocal in the other way. It's saying the offices are not able to pay the architects well. Why? Because we are not able to charge well. And it's also connected to, the project volume what we take.
So you mean to say it's a vicious cycle, a chicken and egg kind of a situation?
Yeah, so we need to learn what is the core issues, and so initially when I was talking about, we also need to revisit our practices, and this term we will do that research and we'll come out with the proper solutions, and all the people from top end to the young firm, everyone need to contribute to the research. And I'm sure India got lots of big future. Our architects got big future, and we should actually very creative people, and we should have more projects and more researchers, and more our people should go outside to get projects and work from here. And our country is inviting more international architects to our place and giving away our project to them. And the other side, non-architects are practicing. So all these areas need to be addressed, and that can also need to be addressed.
Just give me a minute. Please continue. I apologize. I muted a person.
Yeah, no worry. No. So yeah, so the idea of this term is all. We are not talking about solution right away. So blind solutions won't work. We really need to work behind it. We need to talk to people, understand the core issues, and address it. So that's the whole thing I would like to say. And of course, the events and all are helping. But apart from the events, we also need to go into the core issues in terms of, let's say, awards and all. We give awards only to those people who, submit their entries. but there are lots of interesting projects are done by lots of people, which they would like to publish and all. But maybe we will work from the center, then chapter, then to the national awards, so that, like, from maybe the center chapter awards and all, people can go and visit the places and identify those projects and then get them on board. So there are n number of talents lying all over our country. We need to identify and bring into the limelight. And,
I totally agree with you. I would like to cut you short. I sincerely apologize. You are sitting, or you are about to sit on a very pivotal role in IIA. One of the 3 joint honorary secretaries of IIA, if you win the elections, and I pray to God that you definitely win the elections. It would be a very pivotal role which you will be having. Where does this enthusiasm come from? What's the key to this enthusiasm in Kerala?
Yeah, it's not just about Kerala. It's all over our country. We have lots of enthusiastic people. Somewhere, we find everywhere there is a block. So those blocks we know, maybe on the government sector or even in the academic side. The first year onwards, we find the way it is addressed, and maybe lots of bullying still happening in our colleges. From there itself, we need to start correcting, and all the blocks need to be cleared. And with those positive thoughts, I'm sure all these people can come up with lots of good solutions for upcoming days. And
thank you.
Be addressed too. Yeah.
Thank you. Kapilji, can I come back to you? Am I audible to you? Kapilji?
Sure.
Yes. So Kapilji, somebody asked me in a direct WhatsApp, and let me read it from my screen on the side. That person is asking, digital copies of JIIA are always available. What about having a repository of digital copies of newsletters of various chapters and sub-centers on the IIA website?
See, we need to work on IIA websites first, because all the websites of each chapter and center should be linked to the main website of Indian Institute of Architects. So that is how we can always connect each and every part of India with the other parts, so that access to those publications should be made available right from east to west or north to south.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. With this, I perhaps come to the end of today's session. It was a quick fire, rapid fire 30-minute session we were having. I would request all of you to kindly switch on your cameras for the next 1 minute of time, so that whosoever wants to take a vivid photograph is able to take a vivid photograph, a screenshot of a collage of photos herein. Before we go, my dear colleagues and friends, before we go, I would like to share with you all, stay tuned for tomorrow's session, which will be, shall I say headed, or shall I say steered, by none other than architect Leena Kumar. Leena Kumar from Bengaluru is the current Joint Honorary Secretary of IIA and is restanding as one of the Joint Honorary Secretaries of IIA in the upcoming elections. She will be joined by Yayati Tapleji from Maharashtra and Amitav Rai from the land of the East, the West Bengal State chapter of IIA. So friends, we all will meet tomorrow. You will be getting a poster. You will be getting a Zoom link the way you have gotten it today. And with this, I say bye-bye to all of you. We are very disciplined and committed to time. Thank you so much for joining today. Namaskar.
Saurabh, one thing that I want to
please, sir, please.
Actually, today we had only 1 hour. That on such a short notice, we have overwhelming response on this Zoom link, and now we have about 24 hours for the next session. And I hope that this 45 figure will turn to 450.
Sir, the figures will definitely rise. We have made a recording of today's session. and Brijesh ji and his able team will be stitching all of it on the YouTube channel of The Way Forward. And for all of those who could not view us today, attend the meeting, participate with us today, he or she will get a chance via a YouTube link. So friends, stay tuned for tomorrow. It was wonderful having all of you. Cheers for the evening. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.